The challenge.
Well, here's Owen Smith as he walks into the dot to take the face-off draw against Brett Moxham, who has 4 assists so far this season. He's second on the team in scoring. The leading scorer in this game is, watch out for number 14, Jamison Fabro. He has 3 goals, 2 assists for 5 points early on. That's Owen Smith, rims it around, looks for Ty Dubroy, one of the Sudbury players. That puck goes back into the Sudbury zone. North Bay, Rob and I broadcasted earlier this week a contest. The U16 Trappers played a back-to-back against the U18 Trappers and lost 5-1 last Sunday, and then were beaten fairly handily Thursday night, 10-3, and but some things to build on, including the power play. Despite the lopsided score of the power play, Sudbury probably doesn't want to go to the box because Jeff Mancini's Trapper team has a pretty effective power play.
Yeah, it's been one of the highlights in my opinion. They haven't necessarily been rewarded for it, but they have some good structure and they tend to move the puck quite well. And if I was the goalie, I'd be looking for some backdoor and some lateral passes.
Here's Philip Lafontaine. He had a power play marker for the U16 Trappers in that setback on Thursday. Going back after it, here is Carter Brownlee. On his heels, Drake Taylor.
And you know,
Chris,
we're
going to get a cross-checking call here by referee Aiden Cavanaugh.
We have
and
to put
the Trapper power play, we just a little bit of an omen talking about the power play. We're going to see how good it is right now.
And before we get to that power play, let's put it out there, Chris. Let's put the bias. We're goalie-centric. Bruce Laurent had a strong game against our U18 AAA team the last time he played. And the one thing I liked about Bruce's game is he didn't quit. He didn't quit on himself, and he didn't quit on his team. And he'll have to be strong here tonight.
Here's McAllister with the drop pass, back down low. Picked up by Sudbury and lofted all the way down the ice, and Laurent stops it for his defender, Carter Brownlee, the Timmins product. Coming up the middle of the ice, moves it to McAllister. It's chipped in, but Robinson, the Iroquois Falls product, over to LaFontaine, and it's lost. Down the left wing. Nice move there by LaFrance, Noah LaFrance. Trappers able to move it out. This is Brownlee over to McAllister on that left side. 1:15 left in the power play. McAllister keeps it, chips it to himself, goes in after it. It's chipped away, but not out by Levesque. It's up the wall, kept in by Brunette. Franzen. He can't handle it. And it's picked up now by LaFontaine. Still out there. 50 seconds left in a power play. They haven't really been able to set up. Here's a chance for the U18 Wolves by number 8. That's Vekala. Dubroy goes in offside. Dale. Grady Dale stops. Another Sudbury product on this team. To Brunette. Brunette with it now. Drop the pass. Back down low for Brunette. Rims it around. Kept in by Montroy, the Mattawa, Ontario product. Played a few games as an affiliate last year with this team as a Bantam. He's knocked off the puck. Now it's picked up by Owen Smith. Back up top. Shot gets through traffic and it's tipped. And a nice save there. The first shot on goal on McNamara is a tough one redirected. He makes a good save.
Good shot from the point. You know, Chris, I think gone are the days when we played in our glory days with the big booming slap shots from the point. You know, in the games we've covered, most defensemen generally do a pretty good job of just getting that puck on net, looking for rebounds and tips and screens.
Sudbury wins the draw, chips it out. Going in down after it is Colby Gravel, Calendar product. Shot from the point goes through traffic and it hits a couple of bodies and it's picked up. And North Bay gets it out. This is an opportunity down the right side. Trappers try to move it in. This is Dale picking it up now. Dale turns with it, looks for options. Dale trying to find Colby Gravel. There's a shot. His shot goes high over the post. Nice play there to find that seam. Here's another shot from the point. It hits a man in front. It's Bray hitting his own man, and it's chipped out. 16-14 to play. No score between the U16 Trappers and the U18 Wolves. Trappers in red and the Wolves in their traditional white, blue, and gray. It's kept in now. Turnover. Mocks him with his pass. Back to the point. Shot. It's blocked again in front. Gravel. Around the rimmed around. Hannum in the lineup. There's a shot, goes high over the net. This is Hannum's first action of the season after sustaining a lower body injury. Braden Hannum, a welcome addition back to the blue line. Back up top. There's a shot, goes off a couple of sticks and goes into the corner, and it's chipped out. Hannum gets it out. Sudbury regroups in the neutral zone. This is Moxham again. Moxham down the wing. Drop pass. It's picked up by the man of the hour, Fabro, leading scorer in this game. One of the top scorers in the Great North U18 season in the early stages. Puck given up here, and the Trappers try to make something happen. Back into the corner. Dubroy tries to go after. He's knocked down. Moxham rims it around. This is Fabro. His pass goes too far out of the outstretched arms of Mulligan, and here come the Trappers. Regrouping, coming down in waves. This is Owen Smith. Finds his man. Jansen Franson, and his pass goes off a body in front. And the puck is rimmed out all the way down. It looks like number 13, Taylor's going to get to that puck first. No icing. Pass in front is intercepted by Brownlee, and here come the Trappers again. Good pace to the start of this game. Puck chipped in there by Franson. Stopped by McNamara. Owen Smith goes after it. Good effort by Franson. But it gets by Noel. Noel, and a nice pass comes in front, and the puck goes into the corner as Larone tries to poke check that puck away. And we are going to finally get a whistle after a intense 3 or 4 minutes of action there. Really good pace to this game.
I think that's what Coach Mancini is looking for when Coach Mancini talks about his U16 AAA boys being able to play on their toes. I think that's more like it. That's the pace. That's the commitment. Now, I think the U16 team, though, their margin for error is a lot less, and they're going to have to tidy up some of those first passes out of the zone, and they're going to have to tidy up some of their neutral zone play. But I think Coach Mancini will be happy with the energy his team has brought so far.
Trottier, the captain for the U18 Wolves, dumps it in. It's picked up by Brunette, up the wall to Montroy. Montroy's long pass goes to Bray. He chips it out into the neutral zone, and Trottier has it now. Trottier back in his own zone. It's chipped in. Brunette tries to get a stick on it. He couldn't do so. Going in after it's Gilbert. His shot goes high over the net. Ranger into the corner. Turning with it. Goulet. Back down low. Trottier. Still with it. Trying to get by. His pass finally intercepted. Here comes the speed. And that is what Jeff Mancini wants. And that's what he likes to see. And that's the speedy Cedar Montroy. Gets to that puck first. Montroy, drop pass for his line mate, Bray. The North Bay product, and it's chipped out into the neutral zone. Picked up here by Brownlee. Carter Brownlee with it, 12:36 to play in this fast-paced first period. No score between the Wolves and the Trappers. Fabro, he can't get it out. Just gets by Robinson, and it's picked up by Hannum. Hannum across to Brownlee. Brownlee falls down, gets it back himself. He's going to regroup, but he has 2 forecheckers on him, and he just tries to chip it up the wall, gets back into the Trapper zone. Brownlee across to Hannum again. Hannum, strong forecheck, 3 forecheckers in for this aggressive Sudbury team, and that is going to be an icing call, and that's what happens when you press a team and you panic a little bit, as Rowan Smith goes back for that, and we'll have a face-off back in the Trapper zone. But you're right, this is a different pace. We have not seen the U16 Trappers play at this level. I think one of the tough things that you see still sometimes when there's a one-on-one battle for a puck, I think they still have to get past the fact that realizing, yeah, they are playing against bigger players, but they have to forget about that. They got to just go after that puck as if they're playing against someone their same age and not be intimidated. And maybe that's one of the things that this team has to work on to get more comfortable playing against the older players. They can't let other teams get to the puck first.
Well, and coach or general manager Matt Robideau more or less alluded to that in kind of my pregame conversation. And
There's a long lead pass.
It definitely is a process.
Here's Lerone with a crazy puck as he puts it out and tries to get it out of the zone. Owen Smith gets that out of danger, and it's Taylor back down low. I think the key thing, they just do not want to get into a cycle game against a bigger and stronger team, because they know when the older players and the bigger and stronger players are cycling, they are not winning all those battles. So if they'd like to get in the offensive zone and cycle by using their speed, so they're not able to catch them, and that is going to be the key to their success. They have a lot of speed, win the transition game, and move the puck quickly, and I think this team will have a lot better success as the year goes on. This is Hannum, rubs his man out against the wall. Shot from a bad angle by Noah LaFrance, goes right around the boards. Franzen knocks down his man, and there's Owen Smith, who's been a very impressive forward in the games that we've seen so far. The North Bay product, Owen Smith. Vekala down the right side. Cameron Vekala. He stops. He's got 2 Trappers on him. But the puck leaks back behind the net. Comes back to the point, but that high pass too far by Cade Metatwabin, who was a Trapper last year, Rob, as you had noticed last year. Puck comes in front. Puck loose, just put into empty space. Dale's just going to take a shot. He's going to recover and pick it up. Check that, that's Rowe. Bray chips it in. Dale goes in after it. Trottier. Here's Montroy, the dangerous Cedar Montroy. Up the wall, trying to bring the puck to the middle of the ice. He cannot do so. Now a one-on-one here as Ranger goes in, and I think it's offside at the Trapper blue line with 9:28 to play. A very quick period so far, almost just past the halfway mark of the first period. No score, not a lot of good scoring chances either.
One thing I'm noticing, Coach Mancini trying to utilize the speed seems to be changing the lines quickly. And the fact that both teams seem to be playing with some discipline, you tend to use a lot of energy when you're defending. And I think if the U16 Trappers want to have success, they're going to have to stay out of the box to keep their utilizing the speed that they seem to have in this game.
Lerone tries to get that one out of his zone. Bit of a dangerous pass, but was able to avoid trouble there, as this is Ranger with it now. Ranger's backhand pass is chipped in by Gilbert. Behind the net now, that's Rowe. Over to Brownlee. Brownlee tries to find his man in the middle of the ice. That's Montroy. It's too far out of his way, and Dale will not get to it in time, and there'll be an icing call against the U16 Trappers.
You know, interestingly, Chris, I saw Coach Josh Dale from the U18 AAA team here obviously scouting, because our U18 AAA boys will be taking to the ice next Thursday against the U18 AAA Wolves. So he's here scouting. Had a nice chat with him before the game as well.
Yeah, and this U16 Trapper team is preparing for a very important tournament, the Wendy Dufton tournament in London over the Thanksgiving holiday. So they will not be playing Great North U18 competition next week. They'll be in London in a very high-profile tournament. This is Brownlee. Rims it around. I remember that tournament when my son was on the 06 Trapper team, and the Trappers played against Ryan Rubrek, who's considered a high-profile draft pick next year in the NHL draft, and Sam Dickinson, who was drafted, ended up going on to play for the London Knights. And so very high-profile tournament, and that's where a lot of these kids are hoping to make impressions to the OHL scouts that aren't here or are not watching on Flow Hockey. Through the middle of the ice. Nice play here by LaFontaine. His shot goes through traffic. Nice play there to get that release through traffic and force McNamara to try to find that. Nice tracking by McNamara to be able to find that puck through traffic. Now this is Gravel, Colby Gravel, whose older brother was with that 06 Trappers group, able to play in that competition. That was the first big tournament after the COVID pandemic, so a lot of the boys excited to get an opportunity to play competitive hockey again in the fall of 2021.
I think we're seeing with our U16 boys here already after 3 to 4 games in, they're showing some much better level of confidence, and they're making better decisions from what I'm seeing here, Chris.
Puck kept in. There's an opportunity in front. Quick shot there by Owen Smith. The best chance of this game so far. It's shipped back down low for Smith. Smith turns with it. Working hard against the wall. Avoiding traffic. Then it ends up coughing it up, and it's chipped out into the neutral zone. Vekala trying to get at it. Taylor. Turnover here, and that's what the Trappers want to do. Turn pucks over and take it the other way, hard north. There's a collision in the Wolves zone. Puck dumped in deep by Levesque. Laronde again coming out to play that puck along the wall. Shot from a bad angle, and Matatawabin's shot is saved as Laronde had to find it through traffic himself.
So far in this game, Chris, I don't think the Wolves have exerted any type of physical advantage over the U16 AAA team, and I think that's partly because, as we've noticed, they're playing on their toes and they're getting to use some of that speed that Coach Mancini believes that is going to be a hallmark of his team.
Well, you know he's definitely want to start on time because the game on Thursday, the U18 Trappers came out blazing, and Ben Brunton before the about 3-minute mark of the second period had 4 goals already, and a natural hat trick and a fourth goal. So,
and that was the game plan by Coach.
Trick, I guess, or whatever. I don't know what you would call that. 4 straight goals.
Well, Coach Dale challenged them to start on time, and that's certainly what they did.
It looks like Mancini's got his boys rolling. That puck goes off a stick. Franson into the corner. He's knocked down by Trottier. Grady Dale picks it up. He's rubbed out in the corner. This is Dubroy. Dubroy, he's knocked off the puck, and here come the Wolves. Here's a quick chip. Too far in front of Gilbert, who couldn't get to that puck. Trottier can't handle that, and it's the Trappers coming out 3-on-1. Dale across to Dubroy. Dubroy drops it off. Gravel goes in after it. He can't keep it in. It's Gilbert. Gilbert's high shot handled by Laronde, but he wasn't able to corral it. Gilbert still keeps it. Across to Moxham. Back down low. And the Trappers battle for the puck behind the net. Noel tries to get it out. He can't do so. Kept in by Fabro. Moxham rubs out his man against the wall. The Trappers work hard to get it out, but they can't do so. Here's a chance in front, and the shot goes off the pad of Laronde. His best save so far of the evening. As Moxham with a great chance. Moxham with it again behind the net. This is what the Trappers wanted to avoid. Lots of zone time and not being able to move the puck out of their zone quickly. And they were able to finally get it out now and go for a change as Smith goes back after it with Owen Smith on his heels. Bray, forechecking, kept in by Montroy. Montroy over to Smith, and the pass too far into the feet of Smith. Has a nice play there on the turnover. Nice play by Montroy, comes out front, and a nice save there by the goaltender McNamara. Puck chipped out. Hannum now. Gets it across. Nice play by Hannum. Puck across. Bray tries to go after it. LaFrance up the wall. Here comes Mulligan. Mulligan over across. Pass in front. They score. What a nice play. A give and go there. Mulligan finishes it off on a nice passing play there. And it's 1-0 for the Sudbury U18 Wolves.
Well, not much goalie Bruce Laurent could have done on that. That was just a nicely executed passing play. I was just about to say how good of a job the defense had been doing in terms of closing gaps, but on that particular play, the Sudbury Wolves just came down with pressure and were able to get in behind the U16 defense.
15:50 of the first period, we get our first goal, and the Wolves, who won the season opener between these two teams in Sudbury, 5-2, have an early lead. And here's a chance for the Trappers in a lone chance in front and just can't get to that puck. Great chance off the draw. Zachary Robinson with a great opportunity there. Puck goes off the glass and out of the play. So we saw it yesterday, the Trappers allowing a goal on Thursday, and then coming back and scoring right off the draw. And give them credit. You want to respond, a response shift, and that is a response shift when you create a good scoring chance like that.
Well, you're never judged by a bad goal or a bad shift, but like I always say, you're judged by your response to it. And that, as you said, Chris, was a great response for sure.
Gravel chips it into open ice. It's picked up now. He needs to find a man right open in front. Gravel trying to get at it. He can't get by Vekala. Vekala now goes to the front of the net. Vekala's shot bumps out into the slot. Trying to chip it out is Franzen. He can't do so. And the Wolves starting to exert some of their will on this young Trappers team, is getting a little bit more zone time and starting to flex their physicality in this game. Here's LaFrance trying to find his man in front. Taylor, but he couldn't get it by. And there's going to be a penalty now. We're going to see the Wolves on the power play. Here's a chance. In front, puck scores! Again, Sudbury moves the puck around nicely with the goalie pulled for the extra attacker on the delayed call, and it's 2-0 all of a sudden for the Sudbury Wolves, and it looks like it's Drake Taylor that's going to get credit for that goal. We'll listen to Mike Brito to see is it a lot of traffic in front of that net. Might have even went off a skate.
It went off of the skate of number 49, Noel of the Trappers, Chris. But I was going to say, you get to see how quickly, when you have to defend, how much energy gets robbed. And when you're on your heels defending, it doesn't take long to break a team down. And that's not going to be the strength of the U16 defending.
Dale back down low in front. He couldn't find his man. Puck goes off. Back down low. Montroy picks it up. Montroy makes a nice move. Picked up by Dale, gives it to Montroy. With some speed going down that wing, he's got some wheels. This is Dale now with it. Dale locked down. And the Trappers. It's an icing call going.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, Chris. I don't think the score is totally indicative of the effort and the play of the U16 AAA. They were probably hoping to come out of this period 0-0 and probably could have and should have. But again, U16 AAA team, their margin for error and mistakes is very small. And one bad play, one bad read, and it can result in a goal. And we've seen that here tonight.
Gravel keeps it in. Tries to put it in the slot. Nobody there. LaFontaine trying to keep it in. Here comes Goulet. Puck kept in at the line. Trottier. Hannum tries to chip it out, and here come the Trappers. With 1:27 left, 2-0 the score in favor of the U18 Wolves. Puck hits the middle of the ice. Metatwabin dumping it in. Trappers try to get rid of it, and there's going to be, let's see what happens. Is there a penalty coming up? And it looks like there is a call coming up. And it's going to be a head contact, and it's going against the Trappers. So not a great way to end this period, is going off for a double minor for head contact. That's 4 minutes, and that's LaFontaine.
Yeah, and you know, Chris, that's where the veteran coaching staff in between periods is going to have to take the U16 team, talk to the Trappers about maintaining discipline, maintaining composure. They've had a strong period. They have played on their toes. The score is not indicative necessarily of how this game's gone. So they're not going to want to take needless and penalties, because that'll just be a recipe for disaster for the boys.
Trottier makes a risky pass. Mulligan. And Trottier loses the handle on it. Here comes Moxham. Moxham down through Main Street. Picked up by Trottier. Trottier now trying to dangle his way through. He can't do so, but here's an opportunity for Owen Smith with Trottier. Smith, he's got a trailer with him. He's knocked off the puck. A great effort by Owen Smith. He is absolutely gassed. Look at him go. He is definitely gonna need some electrolytes in between periods. And that puck is stripped. Shot blocked there as Franzen did not get rid of it. Franzen couldn't get to it. Rowe tries to get it out. And here's Bray. Or Dale, rather. Dale, a potential 2-on-1. So some sloppy play from both teams there on that power play. And a great effort by Owen Smith there on that penalty kill, as they almost needed to go have a teammate go and pull him off the ice. He was so tired, and great effort by him on that penalty kill and creating that turnover. Well,
you mentioned it right at the onset of the broadcast, Chris. There are some very talented players on our Trapper U16 team, and we did see some really strong glimpses of what Coach Mancini really believes his team can do more regularly. I think it's just going to be adjusting to the physicality of the game and with some more reps and mentoring by this veteran coaching staff. And that was an exciting period.
Well, so after 20 minutes of play, it's the Sudbury U18 Wolves 2 and the U16 Trappers. No score. We'll be back with second period action in about 14 minutes. Welcome back to second period action here between the North Bay U16 Trappers in red and the North Sudbury U18 Wolves. 2-0. The score is in favor of the Wolves on goals by Denver Mulligan and Cameron Vekala. Less than 2 minutes apart. I'm Chris Dawson along with Dr. Rob Graham and videographer Mike Brown. We apologize if there have been some technical difficulties in the broadcast so far, but we can tell you right now that the Wolves are on a power play here as LaFontaine is in the box for a double minor for head contact, and there's 2:30 left in that double minor. Behind the Trappers' net. They battle. Puck comes out to the point. Kept in. Turning with it. Vekala back up top. Collette. Shot goes through traffic wide. Collette keeps it in. Pass across. Shot in front is stopped. LaFrance shot gets through traffic, looking for it, and it's shot all the way down the ice by Brownlee. Stopped by McNamara. Down the left side, Fabro. He turns, gets it back to Collette. Collette, back to Fabro. Fabro back to Collette. As he goes down to the half boards. Collette looks for options. Back across, it comes back to Fabro. Fabro, pass to the slot. Backhand shot, stopped by Lerone, and it's shot all the way down the ice. 1:23 left in the double minor for head contact. Going back after it is Mulligan, who opened the scoring, Rob Graham, on a really nice passing play in a transition. This is Trottier now. Mocks him. That pass in front, it's going to be offside. Looking for Drake Taylor.
Well, far be it for us, Chris, to use hockey cliches, but you and I, being goalie-centric, know that the goalie, basically on a 4-minute penalty kill, has to be the best penalty killer, and so far Bruce Lerone has come up with a couple of stops that have basically kept Sudbury off the board.
1:03 left here, 2-0 your score. And what seemed to be a pretty evenly played first period until the last 5 minutes, when the Wolves started to flex their physicality, being a little bit older as an U18 group against this U16 Trappers team. Back with it, this is Robinson. Robinson turning with it, but he loses it. In front, all alone, and a good stick by Lerone to get his paddle on that. Left all alone in front was Taylor. This is Trottier. Trottier to the middle of the ice. His shot misses the net. Mocks him. Back to Fabro. Fabro with it now. Fabro. Shot through traffic. Another save by Lerone. 20 seconds left in the double minor. Puck goes right on the stick. The Trappers, and it's going to go the other way. Here's an opportunity. Robinson looks for his man in front. A nice play coming back to recover is Mulligan to take away that passing lane. And this is Fabro now with Taylor. Fabro with it now. His shot blocked in front. Penalty is over as LaFontaine heads back onto the ice. Puck comes across. Now it's LaFontaine with the puck now. LaFontaine across. Dumping it in here for the Trappers is McAllister. Comes back the other way. It's going to go right on Bruce Lerone, who's going to be forced to cover it up as Goulet comes to the slot.
Good job by Mulligan from the Sudbury Wolves, Chris. I mean, that's exactly what you want your defenseman to do on a 2-on-1, is to come straight back to the post, and your job is to kind of disrupt that pass, and he took away a good opportunity for the U16 Trappers there.
Face off to the left of Bruce Lerone.
They are taking down the stream.
This is Dale. Here's a shot on goal, stopped by Lerone. They jam it in front. Here's a shot again by Smith, and it rims all the way down the ice. Going down for it is shot goes through traffic on a shot from Hannum. Gravel can't keep it. And here comes Sudbury. Shot from a bad angle. Nice stop there on the shot by Ranger. Montroy. He gets to this puck. Cedar Montroy rushes to the net. Oh, and a nice quick move there, but he just missed the net. Trying to go short side on McNamara. Nifty move there by Montroy. Quick hands there, moving at full speed. Dale looks for that pass. Misses Jansen Franson. Chipped back, it's picked up by Knoll. Knoll to Dale. And it goes all the way down the ice.
You know, Chris, I think most certainly we're seeing some of that skill and that speed that the coaching staff of the U16 Trappers has been talking about, and it's been on full display here tonight, and we're seeing glimpses of it. We didn't necessarily see that against the U18 AAA Trapper team, but I think the coaching staff, you know, positive takeaway today is we are seeing some of that on-the-toes speed play that I know that the coaching staff believes these boys can provide on a nightly basis.
Chips that across, he can't get to it. Here come the Wolves now. Levesque. Wolves try to move it out. Coming down the side. Pass in front. Looking for number 26, LaFrance. Shot goes through traffic. Saved by Lerone. Going after it, Vekala. Puck chipped into the front. And getting to that puck now. Here's a chance. Dubroy's shot blocked. And here come the Wolves the other way. Levesque. Too far in front of him. And here goes Dubroy again. He loses it, and that's going to be an offside call as Smith tries to bounce on it.
Give the Sudbury Wolves full credit on the back end because, you know, our U16 AAA Trappers have been showing some good zone entry on the offensive zone with some speed and with some numbers, but the Sudbury D have been taking away those passes and have been doing a good job of disrupting those plays.
This is LaFontaine. Loses the draw. Picked up by Trottier. Robinson tries to get to that, and he does. Back to Hannum. Hannum's high shot goes over the crossbar and wide. Brownlee keeps it in. Back to Hannum. Hannum's shot goes through traffic. Picked up by Robinson. Robinson turns with it. Back to Brownlee. Brownlee behind the net. Brownlee. He can't get rid of it. It's Robinson back down low. McAllister with it now. Good zone time for the Trappers here. Tiring out the Wolves who try to get it out. Trottier can't get to that, and it's Robinson now. Robinson behind the net with LaFontaine. In front of the pass, just goes underneath the heel of the stick on a nice backdoor attempt. Hannum goes in after it with Mulligan, who opened the scoring in this game late in the first period. Here's an opportunity, looking maybe for the Michigan. Mulligan, across ice pass, shot, nice save by Larone. Brownlee, he's got to get out. He's on a long shift, and there's going to be a penalty coming up here. Kevin Connolly going to call.
That's going to be a hit from behind, Chris, number 10 for the Wolves. And
that is Mulligan, Denver Mulligan.
So we'll get a chance to see the power play, which again has been largely effective, just hasn't really had the numbers in terms of goals, but we'll see if our U16 Trappers can use some of that puck movement and some of that great structure I think that their power play has demonstrated.
They had something to build on. They were able to kill off a 4-minute double minor and really a goal early in the second period after that on a power play might have really put this game almost out of reach, making it 3-0. But Trappers hanging in there, and maybe a power play goal here could get them right back into this. This is Dale. Dale. Cross to Smith, to Hannum, back to Smith. Smith in front, Montroy, and his pass was intercepted, and it's lofted down the ice by the U18 Wolves, and it's stopped for Hannum.
A couple nice little saucer passes there, Chris, and they show a lot of confidence on the power play. I really do enjoy watching it.
Dale loses the handle on it, kept in by Hannum. Hannum with a shot, it's blocked in front, and Hannum forced to go back and get the puck with Goulet on his heels. Goulet knocked off the puck, good play by Hannum. Here's Smith. Goulet right on his heels. Owen Smith down the right side, still with the puck, chips it off the wall, back to himself. Owen Smith, still with it. Back behind the net. Montroy, pass in front. Nobody there, or they couldn't corral it. Larone is going to come out and try to play that puck, and it's going to be stopped by Brownlee. Brownlee picks it up. Brownlee has an issue there with a stick. And it looks like we're going to see looks like maybe a too many. Oh.
Something behind the play there, Chris. I didn't pick up on what happened there. But, you know, that was a really good energy shift for the U16 Trappers. And those are the types of shifts. And I know the coaching staff is going to be telling their boys, we want to win our shifts. And certainly that was a great possession there and some good energy that hopefully can flow through the rest of the team.
I don't know if that was a too many men on the ice. It might have been a bad change. I don't know. I mean, the puck was... puck was down in the other zone, so...
I missed that, Chris. And I don't miss much.
This is LaFrance. LaFrance takes the draw. We'll get the call from Mike Brito. Too many men on the ice, it was. LaFontaine, as we see some 4-on-4 action now, as the Ice opens up. And Brownlee bumps into the goaltender and causes some chaos. Apparently, Glenn Campbell, a well-known official evaluator for the NOHA, said that these two teams had a lot of penalties in their opener last week in Sudbury, and hoping that doesn't happen here. So
it's largely been a well-played, disciplined game, and we hope that can continue throughout the duration of it, because I think discipline is key, most certainly, for our U16 Trappers.
LaFontaine tries to get to that puck. The puck bounces over the stick of McAllister, and here come the Wolves, and the shot goes wide. Lerone trying to track that, and it went wide by the post. Brownlee trying to get it out. He still has a handle on it. Now he moves it up. Picked up by LaFontaine. LaFontaine falls. Brownlee trying to loft it in. That's going to be whistled down as Ranger and LaFontaine get mixed up. And it looks like we're going to see some more penalties. So we could be wrong by as the penalties continue to mount.
And again, Chris, we've talked about it before, that when you're on your heels and you're having to defend, that basically disrupts your lines, it disrupts the flow of your team, and it takes a lot more energy to defend than it does to play in the offensive zone. And we know that our U18 AAA Trappers have run into some problems in the past because of that.
Face off at the blue, it's going to come all the way down into the Sudbury zone. See what the call is here, as we see 4 players in the box, two red Trappers and 2 gray, blue, and white Wolves in the box right now.
Would you tend to think, Chris, that the U16 Trappers have a bit of an advantage 4-on-4 with their playing on their toes and perhaps speed advantage?
I think there might be an opportunity here, but now it looks like it's going to be a power play for Sudbury for the next minute 3 seconds. Trottier brings it in. Trottier's going to go to the front of the net, and a shot in the puck, and the net comes off the moorings as Lerone tries to go across his crease, and you could see that coming. He was, you could see he was ready to go net drive, and he had that lane.
And again, the defenseman there would probably want to try to keep him outside the dots on that, but wasn't able to get back to post and allowed him inside, which for a goalie is a tough play, of course.
Face off to the left of Bruce Lerone, who's been sharp so far. A couple of risky passes that he's been able to get by. 51 seconds left in the too many men on the ice call. Cedar Montroy is in serving the penalty, and he has some wheels, so if he gets out of the box, sure they'd love to hit him for a breakaway. Trottier goes to the middle. Trottier over to Fabro. He can't handle it. Dale gets to the puck and just chips it all the way out. Bray. Smith. He can't keep it. This is Fabro now. 10 seconds left to go. This is Smith now. Down the right side. Owen Smith. The crafty centerman with a nice move and a nice save there. And there's going to be a penalty. They are not going to give him a... he was definitely not too far in front to be called a penalty shot, but a great effort and a great net drive by Owen Smith, who's been very impressive early on in the season for this Trappers team.
Yeah, and that's some of the talent that the coaching staff has been talking about. Yeah, and you talked about it early, Chris, in the telecast, that there really are some talented players on this team, and it's just a matter of adjusting to the physicality of the game and with some more confidence and mentoring by the coaching staff. And this will be a much different team come Christmas. I'm pretty confident of that.
Trappers lose the handle. It's going to be coming down the ice, down the other side. That shot goes wide on a 2-on-1. A hooking call, and the Trappers on the power play almost gave it a 2-on-1 opportunity right there. And this is Hannum now. Hannum, who's looked good so far, coming back from injury. wanted to get back in action before the Wendy dumped it. There's a score! Cedar Montroy on you can't leave that seam between the dots open like that, and that pass went right on the stick of Montroy, and he did not make any mistake, beating McNamara on a really nice play. And we talked about that power play, and that is definitely something to build on. That's their third power play goal in the last 2 games. So Jeff Mancini's got the power play working, and Cedar Montroy gets the Trappers on the board and cuts the lead down to 2-1.
And I think a hallmark of their power play is I think they realize that to score on goalies at most levels today, it's moving that puck laterally and opening up the goalie. And that was just another example of good lateral puck movement, and basically the goalie just not able to laterally position himself to make that save. And I think also, Chris, just a good shot and a good release, so well executed. And again, a good positive shift for the U16 Trappers.
Cedar Montroy, who was an affiliate player last year as a U15 player, he played with the U18 Trappers a few games and was pretty solid. Put in some big minutes as an affiliate player. Dubroy picks it up. Ty Dubroy. Dubroy sets up Montroy. Yes. Pass in front. There's a shot from a bad angle there. A good opportunity there by Noah LaFrance. Smith takes the shot and it goes wide, and the net again. They're having trouble with that post as it comes off again with 9 minutes left to play here.
Now, Chris, I'm expecting you. We have some Powassan Voodoo royalty sitting right in front of us. I don't know if you want to kind of announce who those are, being as you work very closely with these gentlemen.
Yeah, these Peter Goulet and Vitaly Yachmanev. Vitaly coached the U18 Trappers, so he may have seen a few of these Wolves players last year. And, of course, Peter looking at some of the Trapper players that may be affiliates with the Voodoos this season, and certainly a player like Owen Smith is really impressed and looked like a kid who might be able to come in and put in some minutes as an affiliate player. And it's always been a really good marker for players in their draft year to be able to get an opportunity to play junior A hockey as an affiliate player. Guys like Connor Punnett have played as in their draft year. Players like Pacey Schluting. These are 2 guys that went in the first round of the draft. So it's a great opportunity for them, and I know the scouts really like to see how they play against the bigger and stronger players. Of course, Owen Smith's in a U18 league, so he's always playing against bigger and stronger players, but certainly playing junior is another level of, upping up his game.
Well, I'll just talk real quick while the puck's down the Trapper zone. I know for one of my goalies, Logan Coates, the opportunity to AP and come up and actually dress with the Voodoos is a huge confidence boost, and having that pipeline to the Voodoos and the connection we have this year with Coach Josh Dale and the Voodoos, I think it's just great for hockey, and I think it's great for our Trappers organization.
And there's actually a penalty here, and it's the Wolves getting into some penalty trouble. And here's Trottier ragging the puck. Good job in front. Oh boy, he could not be left alone like that. That's Moxon. As the Wolves getting a good chance shorthanded. And this is Montroy, the goal scorer. Montroy goes down his off wing and comes in. Good rush by Montroy. His pass in front, they score! Nice play on the back door near that post. And it is 2-2. Another power play goal by the Trappers, and we have a tie game. And it looks like that goal is going to go to Grady Dale.
And Chris, we've talked about it so many times in our telecast, how hockey is such a game of momentum and energy flow. Trappers have had a couple of great shifts, and that energy just seems to have flown through the bench. Guys seem to be playing on their toes a bit more, and that energy is showing. So good job on the Trappers.
2-2. Montroy and Dale. Montroy playing a big part in both goals. Back down. And here's an opportunity for the Wolves coming in all alone. There's going to be a nice stop by Laronde. And a great chance for Goulet.
Well, I wondered if he was going to call a penalty shot there, Chris, but it's not going to be a penalty shot.
And going to the box is Brownlee.
I guess, Chris, we would probably classify that as a good penalty, I suppose, right? In terms of a defenseman taking a penalty to potentially stop a breakaway and a goal. If there is such thing as a good penalty, that might be regarded as one.
So now we're going to see the Wolves power play as they are now, the game is tied. It was Dale with the goal. Montroy with the lone assist on a great rush. Here's a puck through traffic, and it looks like it's in the pants of Colby Gravel as he's getting ran over.
And it looks like the official is going to be calling 2 minor penalties against the Wolves and the Trappers here. And Chris, this is at a point in the game where discipline and is going to be really important. You know, you talked about it, how the last time these teams were together, there were a lot of penalties. So we hope that it doesn't just, kind of evolve back into that. And I think that's not necessarily in the best interest of our U16A Trapper team.
Well, a lot of times when the score's close, the coaches are really on the players to be more disciplined, because when it's close, you don't want to be getting that penalty that ends up costing the team a goal on the penalty on the power play. So we'll see how that goes, if it means anything, but nonetheless it is the Wolves still on the power play for 1:35, and coincidental minors off that fracas in front of goaltender Bruce Laronde coming down the left side. Trottier still with it. Trottier gives it back to Mulligan. Mulligan opened the scoring in this contest. Trottier tries to get through. He falls down, and here's a chance for the Trappers the other way. Shot on goal, nice save by McNamara. Back down low, this is LaFontaine. Trying to kill minutes against the wall. And now the Wolves out and through the neutral zone. This is Fabro. Fabro looks for options. He holds on to it. Back up front. Tries to find Moxham, but he cannot do so. The seam was taken away. Stop behind the net. Here comes Mulligan again. Mulligan down the left side. Mulligan. Over to Smith. Smith, and he can't keep it in. Rowan Smith. And with 12 seconds left in the power play.
Good job by Evan Rowe, number 12 from the Trappers there, doing a much better job of keeping those players outside the dot, coming back and not allowing them inside as one of the last goals that the Sudbury Wolves scored. So, they may not be as big and they may not be as strong, and they're going to have to pay attention to using their stick and using angles to their advantage, and I thought that was a good job by Rowe.
Trappers with possession here. They are going to kill the rest of this penalty off. Another good job, and their Trapper Wolves player falls, and they'll get back, and the Trappers back at even strength. There's Rowe, the aforementioned Rowe, and this is Bray. Leaves it for Brownlee. Brownlee to Dale, who tied the score up on a power play goal. 2 power play goals, Rob. So Jeff Mancini's got to be very happy about that.
Nice to see them rewarded.
Down low for Dale. Dale with it now. Dale loses it, and here come the Wolves the other way. This is Vekala. Vekala down the right side, tries to backhand in front of the net. Nobody there. Nobody to get a handle on it. It's chipped out of the zone. Now it's shot right back in. This is Knoll. William Knoll behind the net. He's trying to move that puck. Rangers up the wall. And it's chipped out. Nifty chip there by the Trappers, who want to get They don't want to spend time fighting for pucks against the wall. This is Vekala now. Noel gets back and disrupts him. Vekala mocks him with it now. Mocks him, turns around the center. Smith with a good job there, lifting his stick. Comes back to Levesque. Larone, they score! Larone.
Yeah,
Could
that's
not get a handle on that puck. He's had a tough time catching pucks.
You know, Chris,
that is costly. That was a catchable puck, and the rebound comes out, and Moxham makes the Trappers pay with a puck that Larone should have caught.
You know, I've told the story before in our broadcast that many years ago, one of the scouts from the Barrie Colts, a goalie scout, told me one of the things he keys on is the ability for a goalie to catch a puck. And good things happen when you can control plays by catching puck. Bruce would like to have that one back. Catching that cleanly basically stops that goal.
Puck shot all the way down the ice. So after those 2 goals, a response, the Trappers get some positive energy out of killing off a penalty, but then all of a sudden, after that penalty was called, the next shift, they get an opportunity and score on a rebound on like I said, a shot maybe Bruce Larone, who's been solid tonight, would probably like to have as he looks at his glove there.
Well, you're never judged by a bad goal, but you're always judged by your response to it. And we've talked about this, Chris, many times. So let's see what type of a response our U16 Trappers have.
Collette tries to get it up to Fabro. He loses it. This is Smith now. Let's see what the Trappers' response. Like you said, this is Owen Smith looking for options. Mocks him unassisted. That might change, Rob. Unless Moxham was the one who took the initial shot, which I'm not sure. This is Fabro now. Fabro takes a shot. Stopped by Larone. Chipped up the wall. Collette keeps it in. And it comes back out. Trottier with it now. Trottier to Moxham. He can't handle it. Franzen. Moxham tries to get it by Smith again. Good effort by Owen Smith. Dubroy on him. Fabro turning with it. Trottier trying to find Fabro. Rowe, smart pass, just gets rid of it as the Trapper or the Wolves tried to reset in the neutral zone. Fabro again. Rowe tries to get it out. He shoots this all the way down the ice. McNamara has to stop it. Picked up by Southwind, up the wall for Gilbert. Gilbert now. Trying to get it through. Ranger. Trappers player taken down. No penalty on the call, and the Trappers break out. Here's a long lead pass. Looking for Robinson. There's a heavy hit there by Brownlee. McAllister. A little more jump in the step of the Wolves, who gave up that 2-goal lead, but then all of a sudden got the lead back on that goal by Moxham. Picked up here. Goulet, his shot goes wide. This is Rowan Smith. Smith now. He tries to keep it in. He does so. Gilbert keeps it in. Back down low. Good shift here by the Wolves. This shot goes on, and a nice save as it bounced in front of Larone, and he makes the stop, and no rebound with 1:38 to play.
Well, you know, Chris, we covered the game Trappers versus Traffers, and we can already see some huge improvements in terms of this U16 Trapper team, in terms of their, you know, confidence and just their speed and their puck pursuit. So, you know, as the coaching staff has suggested, it's a process, but we can already see in a short period of time some of that process in play.
Puck along the wall. Here's a shot there by Taylor. And Gravel trying to rim it out. He can't do so. Into the middle of the ice. Hits Montroy. Montroy's got 2 points on the night. That pass in front is knocked down. Here come the Wolves now. Through the middle of the ice. Down Main Street, Levesque. He can't find it. Now it's Smith. Smith with a quick pass. He's knocked down. Trappers chip it out into the neutral zone in the final minute of play here in the second period in a 3-2 game for the U18 Wolves. There he goes, Lerone. Nice poke check there. Gravel. He can't handle it. He chips it off the wall and gets smucked in behind the boards. And Owen Smith goes and picks it up. Owen Smith. He gets hooked. He's still got a handle on it. Here come the Trappers. 35 seconds left. There's a shot. It's deflected. Montroy. He takes a shot. It gets off a leg. Montroy knocks this man down. Great play here in the last minute. This is Vekala. His shot goes off of Lerone, and there's going to be a penalty on the play.
Well, with 21 seconds left, Chris, I think a positive for the North Bay coaching staff. They're certainly going to have a lot of glass half full moments that can be talked about. They're going to have to maintain their discipline and stay out of the box. And I think they're going to have to tidy up some of their rebounds and that Bruce Laurent's giving up. He's going to want to try to maybe take a look at that and see how he can help his D out a bit with that part of his game.
Either that, or if he's not able to corral the rebounds, at least being able to chip them into the corners or and not into the slot, into the danger areas. So face off to the left of Lerone. And let's see what happens here. There seems to be some confusion. And it looks like, is there going to be two Trapper penalties on that play? I was also a little surprised that the whistle blew, because that just hit Bruce Laurent. Usually on a rebound, you have to have control of the puck, but after that shot was taken, the referees whistled the play down right away. And it looks like there are going to be two penalties on that. So discipline. I'm sure Jeff Mancini won't be thrilled about that. A 5-on-3 for 2 minutes. Here's a shot, Trottier, and a nice blocker save by Lerone. Maybe his best save of the night. Back down low, shot, they score! Drake Taylor just sneaks it between the pad and the post. And with 7.5 seconds left in the second period, that's a backbreaker. A goal with 7.5 seconds left just after Lerone made that great blocker save. The puck just back behind the net, and the puck comes around to Taylor, and he might have even banked that off of Lerone to score that goal, but a tough one there.
Well, the old hockey adage is you never want to be scored in the last minute of a period. I think a bit of an unfair...
So they got a bench minor there is what led to the 5-on-3.
Yeah, I think that's an unfair result for the Trappers. They played a solid period. There's a lot of positive energy and a lot of positive aspects of their play in this period. So to be down 4-2 at this stage, bit of an unfair thing. But you know what, Chris? Hockey is unfair and overcoming adversity. And what's the response going to be?
So after 2 periods of play, after the Trappers came back from a 2-0 deficit and tied it with a pair of power play goals, the Sudbury Wolves come battling back and make it 3-2 and then score a power play goal of their own in the final dying seconds of the period. And after 2 periods of play, the U18 Wolves are up 4-2 on the Sudbury Wolves. We'll be back with 4-2 on the U16 Trappers. We'll be back with third period action very soon. All right, we're back here with third period action. 4-2 the score for the U18 Sudbury Wolves over the U16 Trappers in a interesting second period. I'm Chris Dawson along with Dr. Rob Graham and talented videographer, producer extraordinaire Mike Brown. And we're going to go through the scoring summary of this contest so far. In the first period, things started off in the late stage of the period. It was scoreless until Denver Mulligan netted his second of the season at 15:50 with helpers from Noah LaFrance and Cade Metatuabin to make it 1-0 for the Wolves. The Wolves didn't wait much longer. Less than 2 minutes later, it was Cameron Vekala getting his fourth of the campaign from Gerald Southwind and Rowan Smith, and that's what your score was after 20 minutes. Well, the Trappers battled back, and they got a couple of goals. Cedar Montroy on the power play right near the 10-minute mark of the second period with an assist to Ty Dubroy on the power play, and that made it 2-1. And then just over 2 minutes after that, it was Graydon Dale on the power play with assists to Cedar Montroy, and we had a 2-2 game, Rob Graham, and it stayed that way until the later stages again is when the Wolves strike in the second period as Brett Moxham put home a rebound at 15:55 to make it 3-2, and then in the late stages, 7 seconds left in the period, on a 5-on-3 power play, Drake Taylor just snuck a shot between the post and the pad of Trappers goalie Bruce Laronde, and that made it 4-2. And Rob Graham, that's where we are right now after 40 minutes of play. What do the Trappers have to do to get back in this?
Well, I mean, I definitely think there were flashes of brilliance for our U16 Trappers, and I'm sure the coaching staff took a glass half full approach during that period break. And I think they need to do a little bit more of what they did for periods of time in the second period. They have to play hard on the puck. They've got to continue to maintain that neutral zone, and they have to understand that the strength of their game is not defending on a power play. That we've seen how good they are on the on the power play, and they've got to continue to keep that growing throughout the course of this game.
Yeah, so the killer in the late stages of that period was a power play and then a bench minor given. So that gave the Sudbury Wolves in the last few moments of that period, gave them a 5-on-3 power play, and they were able to cash in literally within 10 seconds, won a draw with less than 30 seconds left in the period, moved the puck down below the dots behind the net, and then Drake Taylor able to find a hole between the pad, the side of Bruce Laronde, and that's where we're at right now. So another 139.
And I think, the one thing that we noticed the last time we saw this team play against our U18 Trappers, they didn't quit, Chris. And, kudos Bruce Laronde. What we did see from him the last game he played is he didn't quit on himself and he didn't quit on his team. So, again, we keep harping on it, but this is a growing year for our U16 AAA team. It's a process. The coaching staff believes that. They realize that. We've already seen some great evidence of growth in this team since the last time we called the game. So let's see if they can keep it growing in this third period.
Here we go, face off. They fixed, looks like there was an ice issue going on near the Trappers bench, and looks like they've rectified that, and we're going to see what the Trappers are made of here. With 1:39 left in the power play, Rowe in the box. Puck turned over. Trappers try to get it out of the zone. This is LaFontaine with it now. LaFontaine still with it. Good effort there. And here come the Wolves. Metatwabin out of his reach. Brownlee gets it back. Goulet on his heels. Here's a chance for Vekla. Vekla in front. Looks for the backdoor pass. This is Collette. And his pass just goes off of the stick of LaFrance. Back down low. Nice stick there by Colby Gravel. Good awareness. And the Trappers get it out. And Rob, one of the big things, I think, Trappers got to move that puck quicker. A few times they've held onto the puck too long, and it's ended up having a forechecker go and take the puck away from them.
Yeah, it's a good point, Chris.
This is Vekla. Going to the middle of the ice. Nice save by Bruce Laronde. There's an example right there. Just get rid of it. Battle down low. Comes back out front. Goulet with it now. Goulet takes a shot. Nice save. Shot again, and Laronde gets a stick on it, but you're on the penalty kill, and you get that puck. You just got to move it, and stick handling with it near the home plate is going to get you in lots of trouble, and it caused a turnover there behind the net. The defenseman there just has to get rid of that puck, rim it, or find a lane and get it out of the zone.
And good job by Bruce Laronde. That's exactly the response that his team was looking for, and I'm sure that he was. 3 really good, solid saves there, basically to keep that score at 4-2.
Moxham taking the draw against Dale. He's got a goal in this game. Grady Dale. Southwind to Mulligan. Mulligan with it now. He turns with it. Mulligan back to Southwind. 6 seconds left in the power play. Back down low for Fabro. Fabro battling with Noel. There's Hannum. Penalties are done. Rowe is out of the box. Rowe can't get it out. Mulligan shot through traffic. Tipped by Fabro, goes wide. Chipped into the corner. This is Noel. Noel to Hannum. Hannum there. Chips it out. That's what I was talking about. He got rid of it quick. I know maybe it's not going to be an icing call. Southwind after it. Good forecheck here now by the Trappers. Back down low. This is Montroy on Fabro. Montroy takes the puck, puts it to the slot. Nobody there. This is Franson going after it. Jansen, Franson.
That's your favorite name, Chris. Jansen Franson, correct? That's
Ravel rims it along for Smith. Smith moves it up ice to Montroy. Montroy to the net. Franson goes and just couldn't get a stick on that pass across from Montroy, and now a 2-on-1 develops the other way. Gravel, he can't get it in. There's a shot. Nice save by Laronde, and a great job by the Trapper defender to keep the rebound from being scooped up by the Wolves forward. That's kept in by Mulligan. Mulligan back in to Moxon. Gravel chips it up the wall. Moxon picks it back up though. Moxon makes a nice move. Moxon to the front of the net. He scores! What a nice play by Moxon on the turnover, picking that puck up against the wall, driving to the middle of the ice and beating Bruce Laronde to make it 5-2 for Sudbury.
Yeah, and there was a lot of watching on that particular play there, Chris, and the U16 boys just basically got trapped in their own end, and again, you can't afford to make those type of needless turnovers in your own end.
It reminded me a lot of a goal that on Thursday night where the dangerous Ben Brunton was allowed to walk from the corner right into the home plate and scored a goal. So definitely something that he won't be overly thrilled about that goal on a turnover. Rowe to Hannum. Rowe up the wall. Puck into the skates of Smith and with McAllister. Puck comes out. This is Dubroy. Up the wall, McAllister. McAllister. Puck comes up. Ranger. That was a big goal, and you could see the swagger. The Wolves have a little more energy after that goal, getting a 3-goal lead now, getting an early goal, which was something the Trappers definitely did not want to see happen. Up the wall for Ranger. Scrum along the wall. Ranger comes up with it now. Gilbert to Goulet, and here come the Trappers. This is Noel. Noel rushes with it down the right side. He stops with it. Good effort now. Drops it for LaFontaine. Nice, impressive drive there by William Noel. Brownlee keeps it in. Comes out into the neutral zone. LaFontaine's just going to rifle it in. It's stopped behind the net by McNamara, who hasn't seen much action here in the third period. Here comes Sudbury. LaFrance now gets it through the legs, but he could not corral it. This is Bray. Brownlee trying to get it in. It's covered up there in front of Bruce Laronde.
I think it'll be important, Chris, for the U16 Trappers. Sometimes when you get into games like this, individual players try to do too much, and you still have to believe in the process. You have to believe in your teammates, and you have to believe in the structures that the coaches have put in place. So, I think it'll be important in this journey for the U16 Trappers to continue to believe in the process, believe in one another, and individual players can't take on too much and try to win the game on their own.
14:56 to play. Some very good insight by Dr. Rob Graham. And Doc, you talk a lot about the mental game, and it's certainly something that you do, as a business, trying to talk to hockey players and get them to get into the mindset and to be able to battle back and battle and grind through adversity.
Yeah, and that, Chris, our podcast, the Goaltender Resiliency Podcast, right? We have an opportunity to talk to goaltenders and learn more about that. So it is definitely an intriguing part of the game, and the higher you go, the more important it really does become.
Well, just like Adam Dennis, the battalion president and director of hockey operations, says, if you're a goalie, you got to learn to be resilient. So, and there's going to be a penalty behind the play here as things start to get a little more chippy, and something we were a little worried about if the score started to get a little extended, and you could see a little bit of the frustration in the Trappers game as Grady Dale going off for a penalty, and the Trappers have had a real tough time since the later stages of that period. After that 3-2 goal by Sudbury, the Trappers have really had a tough time staying out of the box, haven't they?
And we have Coach Josh Dale of our U18 AAA team sitting down here, and one of the things he's talked a lot about is discipline. And one of the things our U18 AAA Trappers struggled with last year, early in the year, was discipline. And we've noticed this year with more discipline and staying out of the box, it really has kind of rejuvenated their game.
Here's Taylor. He had that late goal, and as they battle behind the net, and they're going to whistle it down. I don't know if it looks like the net came off. So we've had issues on both sides of the ice, on the north end and the south end of Memorial Gardens here, the home of the North Bay Battalion. On the road, which give an opportunity for Thursday night for the Trappers versus Trappers, and of course Sunday or a weekend game. Usually Saturday is not a Battalion home date, but the Battalion won on Thursday night and then had a couple tough losses in Kingston on Friday night, and then this afternoon in Ottawa fell 6-3.
Well, he wasn't a Battalion, but he arguably was one of the best North Bay Centennials ever to play the game, and he's sitting right here in front of us, and he's with your Voodoo's organization, Vitaly Akhmanev, and I will never forget watching Vitaly play as a rookie with the North Bay Centennials, and so, what a privilege for your team now to have Vitaly's expertise and wisdom. I mean, come on, Chris. He played with Wayne Gretzky.
Absolutely. Vitaly, very good coach, and spent some time in the KHL coaching too. So coaching the defense with the Voodoos, and obviously knows a lot about offense and is very insightful and helps the forwards with stuff too. So, but while we were pumping up the tires of Vitaly Akhmanev, it looks like Fabro is going to the box. Jamison Fabro is in the box, and we are going to get some 4-on-4 action for the next minute 15, and then for 45 seconds we'll see that Trappers power play, and maybe if they can get a power play goal here before that penalty expires, we might see an interesting finish to this. This is Smith trying to find Dubroy. He rims it around, no one there. Picked up by LaFrance, the speedy LaFrance. Down the right side. Smith in for LaFrance. LaFrance loses it, and it's Owen Smith. Owen Smith with it. He loses it to LaFrance. Smith picks it right back up, moving his feet. LaFrance, he's got Vekla on him, and he's hauled down. And that is the Trappers are going to get a power play here, and this is great for them to keep ragging the puck so it kills the time and gives them more time on the power play. So a 4-on-3 power play is coming up here for the Trappers, and a great opportunity for them to get back into this game here with 12:46 left in the period, Rob. Yeah,
now we're going to get to see the strength of their game, right? Something you and I have been talking about the last two times. We love watching their power play, and this, as you've talked about too, Chris, this can provide some of the energy that this team needs at this particular point in the game. So we're going to look to see that they make those crisp passes, those lateral passes, and see if they can maintain that confidence they've shown to us all night on their power play.
Face off to the left of McNamara, who we haven't called his name very much tonight. Declan McNamara, the 07 birth year goaltender. Here come the Trappers. This is good zone entry here, and Hannum with the shot. Gloved by McNamara, and we're going to see a face-off. 9 seconds left.
Well, you know, Chris, you being a goaltender, you know the importance of, you know, momentum and trying to stay reset and refocused after a goal's been scored on you. And sometimes these games are difficult for our goalies to try to stay focused and energized. So Bruce has done a good job, I think, in this period doing
this is
that.
LaFontaine. LaFontaine's pass. Shot gets blocked, and now they have a 5-on-3 power play for the next 40 seconds. This is Hannum with it now. Hannum across to Dale. Check that. That's McAllister in the corner. Dale with it now. Dale with it. Looks in front. Nice pass shot there. Got underneath the paddle of goaltender McNamara, but it bounced into a lane where no one was occupying. Puck in down low. Bray with it now. Leaves it for LaFontaine, gets it back. Turning with it now, McAllister makes a nice move. McAllister, and a great save by McNamara. What a stop. And here's a chance for the Wolves. Oh, and Fabro looking for the breakaway pass as he comes out. There's 41 seconds left in the penalty. Puck is missed. Oh, and a great, this is LaFontaine now. He's knocked off the puck. Here's Hannum now. Trappers have not had a chance to change at all. Over 1:30, I think, of the power play. This is Dale. Dale with it now. Picked up by Montroy, the dangerous Cedar Montroy, with a goal and an assist so far on the power play. Grady Dale can't get a handle on it. He has a goal on the power play for North Bay. This is Dubroy. Dubroy gets around his man. 5 seconds left in the power play. They need to get it back, comes out front, and it goes a shot all the way down the ice, and the Wolves do a great job, including the number one penalty killer is always a goaltender. McNamara making a couple of key saves there, Rob, to keep this game 5-2. Puck chipped out. This is Brownlee. Smith now, Rowan Smith to Moxham. Moxham with a short pass, looking for Mulligan. Montroy drops it and it's picked off. Here come the Wolves again. Mulligan, nice pass across just behind his teammate, and it's shot right back in. LaFontaine, this is Mulligan. Looks for Moxham. Moxham with Taylor. Moxham trying to find Taylor. Gets the rebound that comes off the skate of Colby Gravel, and a nice save there. Squeezing the pads tightly to make sure that the puck didn't get through the 5-hole, and covers that one up.
Good job by goalie Bruce Laurent to make that save, and actually Gravel of the Trappers did a good job too of disrupting that pass and again coming back and trying to take that lane away. So good job by both players.
9:53, this is Gravel. Up the wall, roll. And here's the transition that the Trappers like, a good effective transition, getting the puck out of their own zone. They're going to need to do that next week too, playing against their own age group, and some maybe a little bit faster potentially, playing some of those GTHL teams at the Wendy Dufton tournament that starts the things on Thursday, October 10th.
I think the good news for the Trappers tonight, Chris, is we've been hearing a lot about the talent and the skill that the coaches believe these kids have, and you know, maybe there's been some incremental jump in their confidence. We are seeing some of that.
Chance in front! Oh, what a great chance there by Bray! I don't know if he got a piece of that or not, but
I think Bray just kind of mishandled it.
Oh, what a great chance off the draw there. Bray stops it behind the net, getting into a battle behind the net with a much bigger south wind. Comes up the wall. Taylor can't get it out. It's kept in at the line, and it's going to be offside. Moxham stands him up at the blue line with 9:10 left. 5-2 the score still. With 9:10, as we mentioned, left to play. The Trappers have some work to do here if they want to try to get their first win The Wolves looking to try to move to 3-0 on the season.
I think the coaching staff is probably going to be encouraging them to go out and win each shift, Chris. And, you know, you're probably going to want to take your eyes off the scoreboard and focus on your individual shift and try to win those puck battles. I think the U16s have shown a much better level of compete tonight than we've seen in the last outing.
Here's an odd man rush going the other way. Goulet with it. He stops. He tries to get by his man. Good job by the Trappers to eliminate that opportunity. Puck along behind the net. Gilbert. And Ranger back down low. Puck pops out. Trappers try to get it out, and they do so. Levesque can't handle it. This is Montroy trying to toe drag around, and there's going to be a penalty on the play. Let's see what happens here as the
the Trappers
Hudson
are
Goulet is down, and so I don't know if it's going to be. It looked kind of like a collision between the two of them, but it looks like. I know the Wolves are hoping that it's going to be a power play for them. We're going to see what happens, but it looks like a face-off is going to be in the Wolves zone. It's going to be a holding call, and it's going to go against. So what a double whammy! You get pasted by a guy, and then you end up getting called on a penalty for holding after you get pasted. So a tough shift there for Hudson Goulet, who goes to the box for 2 minutes or less,
and
with 8:30 left in the period.
These penalties are being drawn because the Trappers are moving their feet, and the Sudbury Wolves are not skating with them and are taking some of these penalties to slow them down. So hats off to the Trappers for literally creating these penalties through moving their feet.
Here's Ty Dubroy with a risky pass there. Dale brings it in, leaves it for Montroy. Puck is bouncing around in front, picked up here by Dale. Dale behind the net to Montroy. Back to Dale. Dale back up top for Brownlee. Brownlee gives it to Dubroy. Dubroy back down to Montroy. Montroy to Dubroy. And he can't handle it. And the Dale tries to get at it, and the Wolves will clear it out. And an opportunity here for LaFrance. LaFrance, no penalty, as trying to look and see if they're going to call that, as it was almost could have been a hook or a hold there. Going against the Trappers. Montroy trying to slip through. Collette keeps it in. Back up top. Brownlee to Dale to Brownlee. Brownlee, that passes behind him. 53 seconds left in the power play. This is Brownlee. Brownlee's wrister. It's stopped. It goes into the corner. Picked up by Dale. Back up to Brownlee. Brownlee with it now. Back to Dale. Dale picks it up. Tries to get it back to Brownlee. Brownlee with a wrister. Gets through traffic. It's stopped. Puck is loose and it's picked up in the... And the Wolves, Vekala dumps it all the way down the ice with 30 seconds left in the power play. Brownlee gets it in front of his own net. He's got Fabro on him. That pass is almost picked off. Puck's bouncing at the blue line. Picked up here by Jansen Franson. Franson, quick drop pass for LaFontaine. It's rimmed around. Hannum has it out in the center ice area. 10 seconds left in the power play. 6:38 left to play in the third period. 5-2 the score in favor of the Wolves. Nice pass here to LaFontaine from Franson. It's dumped right back in. Penalty is over. Goulet back on the ice. It's rimmed out. Goulet goes after it. He's hit. Robinson picks it up to Hannum. McAllister loses it. Back behind the net. It's picked up by Rowan Smith. He loses it. LaFontaine knocked down heavy behind his own net. No call there. This is Gravel. Kobe Gravel. He fans on it. He back pass, recovers, and just keeps it in the zone. Puck is rimmed all the way around. Nobody there. And one of the Trappers players has got his helmet off.
I think he's going for goaltender interference there, Chris. It looks like one of the Trapper players went into the Sudbury goalie, and I'm suspecting it could be goaltender interference.
If it is, that's LaFontaine with without the helmet, going Craig McTavish in front of the net there.
You know, one thing noticeable, Chris, that a lot of the defensemen have done a good job of, in my opinion, tonight is getting pucks to the net on that power play. And, you know, when you played hockey in the 1960s and it was, you know, guys winding up with the big slap
60s.
shots from the point.
No, you were playing in the 60s.
Those days are gone, but I think that the Trapper D have done a good job of getting pucks down low and on net, and that really is a skill and a talent, and I think it's been on good display here tonight.
5:55 left here in the third period. 5-2 your score, and it looks like there's going to be a power play here check that. It looks like there's going to be a penalty again for Sudbury. Smith is going to get the extra 2. LaFontaine's in there. Oh, maybe not, as they put 2 minutes on the clock.
I think LaFontaine originally got the goalie interference, and Smith came in and had a little altercation after the fact, so the referee opted to even it up.
Face off to the left of McNamara, the 07 birth year goaltender. Goes off a skate there at the wall, at the line, kept in by Rowe, back down low. Here. This is Gilbert trying to get around. Nice play there by Larone, trying to get it out. Mocks him behind the net. He's had a good game. It's picked up by Dubroy. The speedy Ty Dubroy down the right side, the Sudbury product. Tries to get around the defender. He's knocked down. Mocks him with it now. Mocks him. Pass across up the right wing. Picked up by Metatwab and the former Trapper. His hard shot goes way wide. Picked up by Moxham. Moxham loses the handle on it, and this is Dubroy. 2-on-1 potentially developing here. Looking in front. Bray couldn't get a handle on it. Oh, and a great opportunity there by the Trappers with 5 minutes left. Almost right on the mark. A great play by Ty Dubroy, but Bray just could not handle the pass. There's a backhand spinorama, Denny Savard style, and a nice save by the goaltender. There's a pass in front, the wraparound. Unsuccessful. Back in front again, they jam away. Comes back out into the slot. It's going to be a 2-on-0. Developing. Coming down. This is Mulligan. He's hauled down. We may be seeing a penalty shot right here. Let's see. 4:27 left. His arms up in the air.
I'm predicting it's a penalty shot, Chris.
Oh, he looked like he was well on his way all alone. And when he was torn down from behind on a 2-on-0.
Looks like the officials are talking about whether it should be a penalty shot or not, but I think you're going to see him point to center ice.
We see some experts in front of us.
And that is a penalty shot.
Peter Goulet has been around the game a long time. He called the penalty shot, and he was right. And taking the penalty shot is Drake Taylor. He's the one who had that big power play goal at the end of the second period, where he banked it off or between the goal post and Larone's pad. And let's see what he does here. Keep in mind, it's snowy. So trying to make a deke, you're not going to have the speed with your stick handling to be able to get across laterally. So when it's a late in the period like this, I think a lot of goalies like it when a player comes in from a side and wants to try to deke.
Here's the $1 million question. Who has the advantage, the player or the goalie on a penalty shot?
50-50.
50-50. Are you running for mayor this year?
This is Taylor. He's going to go right down Main Street on Larone. And there's a nice glove save by Larone. A huge glove save. Could that be a game? I know they're 3 down, but that would have completely iced it there. But what a nice stop. And you had the left-hand shot coming in, trying to go cross-body like that. If you're coming in straight like that, I think as a forward, I think you want to go, you know what? He is a right-hand shot. He was coming in. That was his best option, was going low glove side. And you know what?
Well, you know,
The goaltender won.
and you know what, Chris? At this point in the game, that's a victory for the Trappers. And I think, you know, you take your eyes off the scoreboard, you try to win your shifts. Bruce just won that battle, and
Here's
that
a chance
is
in front. Oh, and it just goes over the crossbar on a nice play there by McAllister. Here's Mulligan now, or Taylor rather, who missed on the penalty shot. Up the wall. This is Dale. Dale getting hauled down. That definitely, Metawabin's going to get a penalty there with 3:55 to play, and the penalties continue to add up in this contest as Metawabin stopped moving his feet and basically tackled him to the ice, and that is going to be another penalty and another power play opportunity for the Trappers.
And I can't imagine the coaching staff of the Sudbury Wolves being happy with a penalty like that. I mean, again, you know, we talk about discipline, and we know that players get tired near the end of the game, but that's just a penalty, a lazy penalty where you're not moving your feet, and that's not a penalty a coach should be very happy with.
Montroy loses it. This is Hannum now. Hannum, his puck goes off a stick in front, and a nice save there. Good. Oh, and another stop. McNamara, good desperation. Dominic Hasek style. Making a couple of real great saves, turning around, twisting his body around, and keeping the puck out, which is the most important thing, Rob.
It is. It definitely is.
McNamara getting very busy at the end of this game. Here's a shot through Hannum, trying to get it through traffic. Hannum, he loses a handle on it. I really like the play of Hannum. He is not afraid to engage physically with the bigger and stronger players. And I really think that is going to be a benefit for the Trappers going forward, as he did not. There's a shot, it goes off the glove of McNamara behind the net. Montroy. Trappers behind the net, there's a shot, another save by McNamara. They jam away at the side of that, they score! 5-3. It looks like I saw the official gave the signal that it was a good goal, and the Trappers celebrate as they once again cash in on the power play, and it looks like Dale is the one that was able to jam it home. Some great work behind the net by the Trappers, and they've been doing a real nice job of moving the puck on the power play from behind the net into the slot. A few backdoor passes, and that lane, that sneaky little lane, Rob Graham, just on the outside of the post is a very narrow little spot. If a goaltender doesn't take that away with a paddle, it's a dangerous spot for a player to be able to move pucks and get them into scoring areas.
And you know, the Trappers, they haven't been afraid necessarily to go to the front of the net. And you know, General Manager Matt Rabideau has said he needs his players to not be afraid to go to those dirty areas. They've shown a much greater level of compete, and if they can finish this next 3 minutes with a high level of energy and compete, that is something they'll be able to build on.
And that is going to be an icing call against the Trappers. That is I believe that's their third power play goal of the game so far. So that goes back to Thursday night. That's 5 power play goals this young U16 team has scored. So definitely Jeff Mancini, Richard Rochefort, and former Voodoo Joe Whitted have done a great job as the coaches getting these players prepared to play against the older players on the power play.
Yeah, they've shown a lot of growth in a small amount of time, and that's exactly what the coaching staff is hoping for and expecting.
The puck behind the net. Now Robinson in front. Oh, they jam away, and they almost put it through. Another one hole in the air. Brownlee back down low. Again, behind the net. This is LaFontaine. LaFontaine. Across to Brownlee. Brownlee. His shot goes wide. That is Grady Dale's second of the game. Puck gets loose, pops out into the slot, and it's picked up by Brownlee. Nice play by Brownlee to retrieve that and put it right back in behind the net. 2:14 left to play here. Here's an opportunity now. Goulet down the right side. There's a shot. It goes high as he had Ranger with him. Picked up by Hannum. Hannum with a nice, tries to lift it back in. With 1:54 left to play. Knoll over to Hannum now. Hannum with it now. Hannum He fans on that, and then Vekala will pick it up. Hannum giving a nice shot there for Vekala, making him pay the price to try to drive to the net. Behind the net, Vekala battling hard. He's knocked down. Trappers come up with it in the slot. They come back the other way. Down the right side. Trappers looking to try to get back within one. With just over 1:30 left. The net is empty now. Vekala. After a long shift, this is Owen Smith. He battles with it. This is McAllister's shot. Looks like it might have just got off the blocker of McNamara. Behind the net, Smith. Smith trying to chip it out front, and a great chance. And a chance here for Vekala, who's exhausted. And he's going to score an empty net goal right at the 59-second mark, just with 1 minute left to play. And that will ice this one. Great shift by Cameron Vekala, who did some furious forechecking there, came back, was able to retrieve a puck along the wall and score the empty net goal to ice this one for the Sudbury U18 Wolves.
Well, I mean, hats off to the Wolves. It's never easy at any level to go into somebody else's rink and win a game, and you know they're going to come away with the win. But I think even though the Trappers on the scoreboard may not see a victory, there's been a lot of small victories here tonight for them. And I'm pretty sure the coaching staff is going to focus on the many small victories. And from my perspective, Chris, we've seen a much greater level of compete from them. We've seen them play on their toes, something Coach Mancini had said right from the get-go he expected. And again, I'm going to go back to Bruce Laurent. Bruce did not quit in this period. He kept them in it early, and so that is full credit to Bruce. I like Bruce's battle and grind mentality. In spite of the fact there's a couple goals he'd like back, Bruce didn't quit again, and I think the reason why he gave his team a chance to compete was because he didn't pack it in.
For sure. 43 seconds left to play. In a 6-3 game, the Wolves will move to 3-0 on the season, and the Trappers will drop to 0-4. They'll look to regroup, as we mentioned before, heading to the Wendy Dufton minor or U16 tournament in beautiful London. I might actually be down there to catch one of those games. Chipped out into the neutral zone with 30 seconds left. Gravel. There's a shot. Nice glove save there on a shot by Moxham.
Good
with
save
19
by Bruce.
seconds left.
Yeah, so, you know, Chris, I don't think the coaching staff is looking at the scoreboard in terms of, you know, whether this was a victory or not. I think they're going to be looking at it at a bit of a microscopic level in terms of some of the things that the team did much better comparative to what we've seen in the past. And again, I've enjoyed watching their power play. There's definitely some power in it. You've talked about it. And so I'm glad to see they've been rewarded for that tonight.
So the bad news is Drake Taylor missed on his penalty shot. The good news for Drake Taylor is that with that power play goal, that pushes his late second period goal into being the game winner. So he may have missed on a penalty shot, but he can go tell Grandma, I got the game winner, Grandma. So Drake Taylor gets the game winner in this contest in a 6-3 final as the U18 Wolves improve to 3-0, as we mentioned. U16 Trappers continue to battle and grind, but they are now 0-4. So
well,
for myself, Chris Dawson, Rob Graham, and the talented videographer Mike Brown, good night from North Bay Memorial Gardens. Once again, your final score, the U18 Sudbury Wolves 6, the U16 Trappers 3.